Danger was my middle name, and acquiring things that weren't mine was part of the danger. Um, Even as in grade school, I was such a bad kid. They never gave me the little prizes. So I jimmied the door and got them myself during recess, and that's just kind of been my whole life story. I tried to take what I needed, and I mean, it was fine and dandy. It was all for free, but I just kind of had this attitude of rebellion and of this is total defiance. That's what all those papers say that I have from grade school and up. Is William shows total defiance of school authority, and I wasn't going to listen to anybody, and I just did my thing. And I've always written. Of things I've written since I was 10. I was put in special classes, and because of I don't know, I'm so afraid that it's not dyslexia. I've never gone to get tested. I'm afraid they'll say you're just stupid. But I write backwards fluently, and it just made education very tough. It put me in a position where I just looked for other alternatives like burglary and and these things are important because they deal with self-esteem, and when you're dealing with self-esteem, if you just don't think you're worth anything, chances are you're at high risk, okay? You're at high risk. If you think you're garbage and you treat yourself like garbage, you're at high risk. Drugs, alcohol, high risk. It's not who you're doing, it's what you're doing with who. So we move on along down the line, and I had done some behaviors. I had did some of those things with those people, and a whole variety. I spent time in Southern California, and where my father lived, with the nice red pool table and the money. And I came to South Sac, and the Oak Park, and I partied with the South Siders, I guess. I don't know. And we partied, and we LSD'd, and we just had a good time, and sex of all kinds and all varieties. I tried intravenous drugs, and then I'd go down south and have this other different life, this Southern California life, and with drugs. I won some riding awards, and wrecked a car in Hollywood, and lied about it, and left Southern California for up here again. During this time, I'm just sex, and this was AIDS was a gay disease then, and it was being told that this was for gay people, and I wasn't a gay person. I was a pure person, a very sexually active person, and so I just didn't think that I was going to be any risk. This was the first thing: is if you think you're not at risk, you are. Okay, you are at higher risk if you don't think that this can happen to you. If you think, oh, I'm okay, it's not going to happen to me, that is the high risk. You have to remember, it can happen to you. You are at risk. And so we 1985, they finally had a test for HIV, and it was it was the HTLV virus, is what it was called then, HTLV. And I kind of had a wonder. And I'd thrown a girlfriend out because I just threw her out. It was time to go, and I went and got tested in '85. It was like right before March, the end of February. So I had to wait that 2-week period, and they said you're positive, and they said I had about 4 years to live. So I always like to say it because I heard this in a support group once, that I don't go to support groups anymore because I hear this stuff like this, that age is the process of losing everything, one at a time, very slowly, and it starts with your future. You lose your future. You have if it's 19 years old, and it ends with your sight, and your sanity, and your life, and over a long, slow period of time, in most cases. everybody's different. The virus is very different. There are different strains of the virus, different things that affect you. I mean, people are just affected differently because everybody's different, and but everybody can get it and die. So that was fine and dandy. I was a drinker. I was a user. They said you have 4 years to live. I calculated 19, 21, 23. Okay, boy, that's not. So why do I go to school? Why do I go to work? Why do I do anything? And I just drank and used for two more years, and then they upped the date. They said people with AIDS can live 10 years. I'm like, oh God, I don't want to live 10 years like this. Oh no, this is horrible, you know. And it was at that point that I thought, what do I want to do? Do I want equality, or do I want quantity? Do I want lots of time to a whole life? Am I going to mourn a whole life, or am I going to have a quality life? I didn't want the last thing I ever wanted, ever, before even HIV, was just to be a blip. It was just to be, you know, somebody that disappeared, you know, just was sucked off of the planet. Oh God, sucked off the planet, and was nothing. And they said you got another 10 years, and I'd been up for 3 or 4 days on methamphetamines, drinking beers, smoking cigarettes. Oh God, trying to die, trying to kill myself, I guess, slowly. And they said you could live like this for another 10 years, so I went and got help, and quit drinking, sobered up, and went to just went and got help. I haven't had a drink for 9 years, and I started to learn. I was a kid in my head. I was just a child. There's things that I didn't get taught, and I never knew what the word respect meant. Everybody's trying to tell me to respect each other and myself, and I just didn't understand the word respect. I didn't understand the word grateful. I didn't know what am I grateful for. I didn't know what I was grateful for. Oh yeah, okay, thank you, Lord, for this food. But I never meant anything, any of that stuff. And people were saying, look for the solutions to the problems. What is the solution to this? Like, what is the solution to AIDS, having AIDS? No solution, really. I can't make it go away. What can I do? What can I do? Well, with sobering up, I learned to look for the solutions, and one of those was help other people get to wherever they need to get to let them know that, hey, I quit drinking 9 years ago, and there's something you can do about your there's something you can do about low self-esteem, and that is help other people, no matter who you are. You can help somebody else. That's all we got here. And I started recognizing songs and things that express just that stuff. I used to be a really hard rock heavy metaler, you know. Die young, die young, die young. Black Sabbath, die young. I mean, I'm like, whoa. I mean, this is all before HIV. I'm listening to this stuff saying die young. And there's stuff out there now, you know, the gangster raps talking about shooting people and being shot. And it's just this gruesome black world and of morbid death. So anyway, I quit drinking, stayed sober, and stuck my hand out and got into service work. Took it into jails. People who were in jails they knew they had a drinking problem. Now they're going to spend the rest of their lives in jail. They knew that they were at risk for HIV. They knew it. They're dead. And then I ended up with pneumocystis cardiae pneumonia after having something removed from my cheeks in the back, and it spiraled me into pneumonia, because the person that has the compromised immune system has trouble healing. Your body has to put all of its sources to the problem spot. Like, say, somebody who breaks their legs and has HIV, they might get really weak because their body's trying to repair the leg, and this depletes your immune system. And I'll get into the board work. So I did fine. I had a fabulous, tried to get a good jobs and tried to just, have this fabulous little existence for about 5 years after I had found out I was positive, which was just all I wanted. Just did not want to be a blip. I just didn't want to be this flash. And I mean, that was just the deepest and most powerful thing to me. What a waste. And I think about babies that live 4 years and die from this. I mean, God, what a waste. Only 4 years of being under the sun. And then the people that I've known that have just given up and died, and people who have been infected because their partner didn't tell them. Who walk you down the aisle married and don't tell you that they've had this kind of unsafe practices, and then they die, and the partner finds out, and then geriatric AIDS, older people who don't think they're at risk, are increasing numbers. 3,000 newborns a year are infected. 3 million Americans are known infected. You say known, that means that's what's known. So I got in the hospital and they said, you're going to die. You have 18 months. I'd lost about 60 pounds. I was having high fevers. They had to thwart off a coma. And I figured that was fine. Everybody said bye to me. Family, friends. I had friends. I finally had a life that was worth losing. And they basically said that I had about 18 months to live after that, and then I probably wouldn't gain the weight back. If I didn't take the medication, then the pneumonia would come back and kill me. And it was pretty much over. And so I'd already been told when I was 19 I had 4 years to live, and really succeeded that, passed that up. I did the right things. I preserved my body as best I could, and drank lots of water, lots of hot water, and exercised, and just kept the positive attitude that I had learned. And then my pants wouldn't stay up. And none of my clothes fit anymore. They were just, I had to hold them like, like this. And I had a flight of stairs I had to go up to where I lived, and my mother cooked for me, and she made spicy food, and it was awful, and it burned me very much, and I had these horrible feelings of doom, just doom, like the whole world was going to hit me in the back of the head, just all at once. And why am I washing dishes? Why am I doing anything? Well, doom. And I went and got professional help, and the doom went away. I started educating. I started standing up and saying, "Hey, I have AIDS." I've seen doctors cry at funerals and say that they can't save anybody's life. And there's so many people, and that this one educator who was Cheech, who died after a very good, valiant fight. He was victorious in his death, and he said, "But Cheech could." I did a presentation here with Cheech. He was merely an acquaintance, but Cheech might have saved some lives. If you hear my voice in the back of your head saying, I am at risk, and I need to be careful, then I've done what I've done. I'm doing what keeps me going, even though only Liz is the only one getting it from me now at this point. I've been with lots of different organizations, and it's just this Hollywood thing, I think, going on that I don't like. You know, I'm not here for money, property, or prestige. I'm here to carry a message to you, and it doesn't be. There'll be if you keep yourself clean, there'll be something clean for you in the future when everybody else is like sick. Okay, so be clean. Safe sex is abstinence. So the only thing we can say is safer sex. Don't have sex. And there's plenty of ways to kind of have sex without actually having sex, too. So I have to really say that. You know, I fell in love with ears and necks. They're okay, they're safe. None of those, unless you got a concussion and there's like brain fluid dripping out your ear. I think you're safe. So I'm going to go into some other education stuff, unless you got some personal questions for me. Go, yeah.
How long would it take to be known that you had HIV if you got tested? How long? They say it could be what?
Okay, so you give the blood test. It might be 2 weeks before you get the results. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah,
okay, are you asking? I'll take you on the dirty date, and then I'll tell you all of that stuff right now. So I need to get doing that. I probably should finish up. Well, I lived. Okay. Went in the hospital with pneumocystis pneumonia. Was told I was going to die within 18 months, and I never gained my weight back. Well, my weight came back tremendously. I worked out very tough and did lots of traveling, and just had this fabulous life. I didn't let it get me down, and continued with education. I've like I said, I did this probably at the very start of Sindhu and whatever else was going on with the AIDS Foundation, and I think that me being in here is what's helped keep me alive. And love that and lots of Lucky Charms. So, which I have to change those kind of habits now. And I've had full-blown AIDS for 4 years. In August. You be careful, because I could just say it's not by what you look like. Trust me. Yes, go ahead. Please do.
People live with full-blown AIDS?
Well, I hear all kinds of people going, oh God, I've been infected 19 years and blah, blah, blah. But they didn't have a test until 85. So I stick with 85. That's 11 years. I think I've been infected far longer than that, though, because of my activities. I mean, I heard the word AIDS, and I stopped certain activities because it was a gay thing. So I'm not real sure. I did try the intravenous drugs once, with a family member. I don't know. They just, the doctors want to tell you that it's genetic is why I'm still alive, and that, they always seem to devalue my success. My weight, oh, you're hanging in there. No, I'm not hanging, I'm living. I'm not hanging in there, yeah.
How many people do you think you infected? Do you trip off?
No, yeah, well, yeah. You ever see the movie 7 Degrees of Separation? What's that kid's name for Fresh Prince guy? Yeah, he's a little con artist in Manhattan, and he's just 7 degrees of separation. He meets some people on a cruise ship, and next thing you know, he's up in a a flat or a penthouse. These other people saying that he knows these people, and it's just the 7 degrees of people that 7 away. I just spent 2 weeks in the hood. In a home where people on SSI live, people who don't have SSI, people who have no money, can't keep a spoon in the kitchen because of the junkies, and there's a hooker that gets up to the boulevard real quick and brings men back. We don't see no condoms. She ain't using no condoms. Okay, so she's the part of the base root of the problem. She's possibly infecting guys and going on. And okay, where does the guy go? Well, he plays with her and goes somewhere else. Where does he go? He goes maybe to his wife, or to a girlfriend, or to other. That's 7 degrees away. These people are all just that far away from somebody in the school, and it's happening, increasing rate. And I just, and then there's the junkies. They ain't asking for bleach. They're not, cleaning their needles. They're sharing. And I'm wanting other people to share. And these people are going, oh, I'll try it once. I didn't have a voice in my head saying, be safe, be abstinent. Silence equals death. That's kind of the first motto of this whole epidemic. Silence equals death. If you're quiet about your infection, if you're quiet about the fact that you want somebody to use a condom, or you want to be safe and you keep it shut because, oh, they're so cute, that silence equals death. And I'll just repeat it again. If you think you're not at risk, you are. You're at more risk. So we're going to talk about high and low levels of, hello, I stood up. High and low levels of risk. I'm going to start with low levels, and we'll start it on a date. Say you have a girl in mind, and you've asked her out, and everybody's saying that you might get somewhere with her, but you're a gentleman, and you really just want to, just want to cop a few feels on the first date. Isn't that what it is? First date is to cop a feel. And then, so you're getting ready, you're going, you're playing with your little kitty, and, and you shave your face, and, and you're just ready to brush your teeth really vigorously, and you go out to meet this girl and cop a feel. Okay, so how much risk do you think there could be in copping a feel? Come on, is that low risk or high risk? What kind of, There is a risk, huh?
Low risk?
It's low risk, yeah, sure. If you got cuts on your hand, maybe, you're gonna, I need to do the 4 fluids first, but 4 fluids, what are the 4 fluids that have the highest percentage of the HIV virus, and therefore the most dangerous? Blood?
Secretion.
Huh?
Your secretion.
What kind of secretion?
Vaginal.
Vaginal secretions, yes. Next? Okay, we said semen, blood, vaginal secretions, and breast milk. What? Is it? Breast milk.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, about 3,000 newborns a year are born without the infection and are given to it through breast milk. Okay, so and they don't make it to 4. So those are the 4 fluids that you need to be careful about. Okay, spinal fluids and brain fluids. You're probably not gonna come in contact with those. Okay, so that's the highest risk. If you have those fluids, high risk. Okay, low risk would be, but has a percentage of the virus in it. Would be urine, saliva, and feces. That's only when that they're higher if there's blood present in them. Saliva is, I don't know what it's built of, but if it's got blood in it, it's the blood. Okay, so you're going to go out and you're going to kiss and you're going to cop a feel and make another date. So you get there, you kiss, and you kiss, and you're at low risk when kissing. Okay, unless maybe she's got like some sort of gaping herpesoid on her mouth or whatever. When she shaved her mustache, she made cuts on her lip or something. These are openings, portals for the virus to enter into. Okay, and that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the virus, those 4 fluids, finding a portal, an entrance into your bloodstream. Okay, so you're kissing and and everybody, your lips are just pink and fabulous, and you're just in heaven. Okay, and that's fine. You're at low risk. And let's go. You're gonna cop a feel. You're gonna stick your hand in her business, and who's at risk? You say your kitty had you have little cuts on your hand, and you're playing around. Both female, because you've got blood. Maybe, a scab or whatever, and this is low risk, okay? It's low risk, but it's a risk, and I just want you to get the message out of you into me, however you can think of that. Out of you into me, out of an infected into a non-infected becomes an infected. So you look at your hands, look at your cuticles, know what they're doing, where they're at. Get a little rubber glove. Don't do it. Abstinence is 100% safe. You'll have somebody at the other end, because there'll be people who are practicing this today and enjoying an active sex life. And if you want to be a pig, be a clean pig. So that's my favorite. Tear it up, but tear it up safer. And So, okay, so you oral sex with a female, who's at risk? Both parties. So you've shaved your face, you've got nicks and cuts, maybe you got a herpetozoid or something, and you know, you've got those openings. We'll continue up the scale to, those are low, medium risks. Hello. We have a call from...
Yes, I'm a student there in the class, and I was just wanting to ask that I've seen a lot of patients that are that have HIV, and they do a lot of saliva, spitting, and you said it was just the blood, and is it truly just, what is going on in the saliva when they have to always, spit in the waste basket and stuff like that?
Well, they might, yeah, there might, I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but I don't spit a lot. There's if they have pneumocystis pneumonia, if they have something wrong with their lungs, they might be coughing stuff up. Those do not have virus in them, unless there is blood present. If they've got, maybe they've got sinus problems and they have some swelling and bleeding, or, is the only time I could think blood getting into your saliva. Brushing your teeth too much and jacking up your gums and making them bleed. It's blood, highest percentage of the virus, the most dangerous. Everything could have the virus in it, but we're talking about low risk. If it was from kissing, far more people would be dead. That was a good question. I don't know why everybody's spitting so much. And,
What you should ask me this is, when does the virus die? Like, say someone spit, and then how
I'll
long
talk about
does
that.
die?
We've had the percentage of virus in saliva is so small that if you were to kiss, you'd have to kiss for a couple of hours, and you'd have to ingest a couple of gallons of somebody's slobber and to get enough to even be at low risk.
Some guys think it's in that case, if it's that low risk, some guys think it's okay to have unprotected sex when it's orally done to them.
Oral sex, yes.
Yeah.
Right. What I'm trying to get across is that we have high and low risk, and they're taking a risk in any unprotected sexual activity. They're taking a risk. I'm going to continue up to the oral sex and talk about that. So we're going from low risk to high risk. Even lower than all of that other stuff is receiving letters in the mail from people with HIV. Oh, good Lord, I'm going to catch AIDS in the mail. The AIDS patient licked the stamp, licked the envelope. AIDS. Okay, oh no, washing my laundry. I've heard all of this stuff, okay? Washing my laundry with somebody who has AIDS. Going to get AIDS in the laundry room. What else is there?
You can sneeze.
Who?
If you can cough or sneeze.
Cough or sneeze. If there's blood in it, you're in trouble. It is not airborne. It's just, that's not how it travels. It travels by getting it into your body. Now, if I could explain that another way, I had a nurse. I heard a story of a nurse who was elbow deep in somebody, assisting a surgeon, an HIV patient. They're doing something in this guy, and he nearly severs her finger. Okay? Now she's the HIV, her hands, her gloves, she's bleeding, he's bleeding. Do you think she got infected? Everybody seems to think, yeah, she got infected. No, she didn't get infected. Her body's doing what it's supposed to do. It's bleeding out. You have to get this in your blood system. She bled into him. See, now had she been infected and he not, he probably most definitely would have contracted HIV. And, it's like putting two water hoses together when they're on. Water from this hose isn't going to go into this one. You know what I'm saying? They're both running. Your body does what it's supposed to do. You've got to get this in you. You've got to get it right into your blood system. Vaginal, anal, without a condom is highest risk. If you're having anal sex and you're having your highest risk. Highest, since we're on highest risk is anal sex without a condom. Second is anal sex with a condom. Those are the highest. Vaginal, well, you put a condom on either way, it is the highest risk. Condoms break. Condoms are not 100% safe. Nothing is. Vaginal sex without a condom, high risk. With a condom, high risk. Use a condom. You